Good morning, class. Today we're going to be working on collective nouns and then making comparisons and using negatives correctly. So today we're going to be working on collective nouns, and there's singular collective nouns and there's plural collective nouns. And when we talk about a collective noun, it's a group of something. An example might be your basketball team or your dance team. Team is a collective noun because it takes more than one person to create that team. And a plural form of team is the word teams, and that would just be multiple groups or multiple teams, more than one. A collective noun names a group of people, animals, or things that act as a unit. Treat a collective noun like a singular noun unless it names more than one group. An example of a singular collective noun: class. Our class planned a celebration. And if you wanted to make class plural, that would be classes. So the plural collective noun: all grade 5 classes are invited. And that's just more than one class. So in our activity today, we need to underline the collective noun in each sentence and write whether the collective noun is singular or plural. We'll go ahead and look at number 1, and it says, the teacher chose Elisa for the spelling team. We have the word team. Elisa's on the spelling team. So we have the word team, which is our collective noun. It takes more than one person to create that team. A collective noun is team. And we need to decide whether that's plural or singular. Well, team indicates one team, so it's a singular noun. And so we're going to write an S on the line because it's singular. If it were to be plural, it would be the word teams, more than one. I'd like to show you an example of a plural collective noun, and we'll go down to number 4 and look at number 4. And number 4 says, Jose's father is on several committees at the community center. Well, committees are collective. Committees is a collective noun, and it's a plural collective noun. It ends with an S, and the singular form would be committee. If Jose's father was on a committee, that would be the singular collective noun. But it is committees, so it's more than one, and that's a plural collective noun, so you'll write a P on the line. You can go ahead and pause your video here and complete 2, 3, 5, and 6 on your own, and then hit play again when you're ready to move on to page 58. On page 58, we're going to talk about making comparisons using negatives correctly. And what we mean by that with a negative in English grammar is that it's a piece of a sentence that contradicts the rest of the sentence. Okay, so it changes the meaning. And oftentimes we'll see words like not or never, or contractions, which means we add the word N or the letters N apostrophe T to the end of words, like won't, can't, things of that nature, isn't. And an example of this would be the word like never. So if you look at our first example here, the sentence says, I've never seen such a large crowd. Well, your comparison word is large, okay, but your contraction or your negative in this sentence, not your contraction, is the word never, okay? I've never seen such a large crowd. So what it's telling us is I've always seen smaller crowds, right? Large would be the comparison word, and never would be that negative. And what we're trying to do here in this example would be finding words that can complete sentences correctly. And I tell you this all of the time when we're doing grammar, is to say them aloud, read these sentences aloud, and listen, because oftentimes your best indicator for the correct word in these types of sentences is going to be that it sounds funny to you when you say it. If we look at number 1, we have isn't or is. This game, blank, nothing like our first game. And we could say this game isn't nothing like our first game. But when you say that, this game isn't nothing like our first game, you can tell you're using the negatives incorrectly. Isn't nothing doesn't sound right, and it's a negative and a negative, so you're not using it correctly. So really, in number 1, you need to use the word is. And so we have this game is nothing like our first great game. And this is telling you that the first game and this game are not alike. They're different, very different. They're nothing alike. We'll complete number 2 together as well. We have Billy plays soccer more skillfully than Robert plays, or Billy plays soccer most skillfully than Robert plays. And when we look at that one, we're going to say Billy plays soccer more skillfully than Robert plays. I'd like you to work through 3, 4, and 5 on your own, and you're comparing or using better or best, ever and never, worse and worst. Numbers 6 through 10, you're going to circle the errors in the paragraph, and there are 5 errors, and it tells you there that you're going to find the 5 errors in the paragraph, and then you're going to correct the errors on the line below. So once you circle them, you're going to write the correct word that should be there. I'm going to read the first sentence to you. It says, I didn't think nobody noticed how well I played in last night's game. Well, when you hear it, I didn't think nobody noticed, you know that you can hear something that doesn't quite sound right. I didn't think nobody noticed. Well, really, it shouldn't be nobody noticed. It should be anybody. And so on the line, you're going to write anybody, A-N-Y-B-O-D-Y. Anybody noticed. You're going to go through and find the next 4 errors, underline them, and write the correct word on the line. When you've finished, make sure you take the time to attach your work and turn them in. Thank you.